Hello, this is SJ Talks and Light coming at you, back at you with another video. New to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Is that if you're on your phone looking at me, it's that button right there. It should be a button right there. Go ahead and hit that. Still trying to grow here. Help a sister out. This is gonna be a multi topic. This is gonna be a multi topic slash chat. Be talking about various things slash chat. My stomach was acting up something terrible last night. Oh my God. My stomach was acting up something terrible. I think it was stress because when I went to sleep, um, I ate, and then when I got done eating, my stomach was had real bad indigestion. And I went to sleep. I said, well, maybe I just need to get some rest. And so I laid down because last few days I've been sleeping well because it's been so hot. Michigan had a heat wave. They had a heat wave up here, and I can't sleep when it's real hot. And so because I get hot flashes on top of the heat, so I've been having problems sleeping over the last 2 or 3 days, 3 days, and so it's that's not good because it kind of breaks down my body a little bit. So when I went to sleep, I woke up and my stomach is a little bit better. So this probably was maybe a combination between stress and not getting enough rest. I don't know. Anyway, anywho, stomach's still kind of acting up a little bit, but I can manage. Anywho, I want to talk about Peach. Like I said, I'm going to talk about different. This is kind of going to be a chat video. Um, I want to talk about Peach McIntyre. She insists on, she's having problems with her husband. She insists on coming on YouTube talking about, because I did the video. If you didn't get a chance to catch that video, I did a video talking about her coming on here trashing her mother. I'm going to link that video up to this one. If you didn't get a chance to catch that video, it's check it out. But I'm going to link it up to this one. I talked to her about, in that video, about her coming on here trashing her mother on social media. It's just not good. Whatever drama that her and her mother have, they need to deal with it behind closed doors. Keep it off of social media, because her mother also has a YouTube channel. But she is continuing to come on here and talk about the issues that she's having with her husband, Wood. I don't know how many of you guys watch Peach McIntyre, but I don't watch her as much as the other. Like I said, Jazzy and Strong Mommy Chrissy are my favorite moms to watch. I watch them more than anything. But I watch Peach McIntyre from time to time. She has 7 children. I don't know how she's doing it with 7. Plus, I think she has 1 or 2 that are special needs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she has 1 or 2 that are special needs. One is has issues with autism, and that's by itself is a challenge. Dealing with a child that has autism, that's a challenge all in itself. A special needs child, that's a challenge all by itself. And if you have a mate when you're dealing with a child that has special needs, autism, or any other thing, you need that support from your mate. You really need that support from your mate. But from what she's saying, she insists on bringing it here to social media. I don't know what she expect. She's a content creator, and that's how she makes her money, and that's how she earns her money. I guess the drama that's going on between her and her husband probably makes for good content. I imagine it do. But like I said, everything is not for social media. Yeah, I don't know what she expects from her viewers and subscribers. She's getting some good advice in her comment sections, but the problem with YouTube, the problem with bringing whatever you're dealing with to social media, especially if you're a content creator, it may make for good content, but it also sets you up for scrutiny and criticism. And these people in these YouTube streets is brutal. They brutal. These people in these YouTube streets are brutal. They brutal. And whatever you put out there, um, they're gonna have an opinion about it. Some of them not only have an opinion about it, but they gonna, you know what I'm saying? Um, because I have to maintain a certain amount of privacy, even though certain things that's going on in my life may make good content. Everybody got something going on. I don't care who you are. Um, at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that I should bring it to social media because it's going to set me up for scrutiny and criticism and bashing. And I don't know if I want to put myself through that. You know what I mean? And I don't put all my business on here like that. For that very reason. Because some people may give you well-intentioned advice, but some people is going to criticize you, particularly being a black woman on social media, being a black female content creator. You're really going to be setting yourself up for some scrutiny and criticism, you know. And I don't know if I want to subject myself to that. Um, and so there's certain things I just don't bring to social media. You know what I'm saying? Unless the only time I would bring a situation to social media is if I feel like what I'm going through is going to help other people. You know what I'm saying? Or um, I can maybe connect with other people that are going through something similar than what I'm going through. That might be a reason why I probably would. Or if it pertains to my content, if it pertains to I'll bring up certain scenarios from my past. Well, it's in the past. It's not something that's going on right now. So I might bring up certain things from my past if I'm trying to make a specific point in my video. But it's in my past. So it's not something that I'm dealing with currently. I've moved on from the situation, and I might have learned from it, and I share what that experience was. Maybe something helpful to somebody else. So that's a little different. But as far as the current situation, I'm a little apprehensive because it really, really sets us up for us content creators when we share too much of our personal business. It really does set us up for scrutiny and to be criticized, and I be seeing what these YouTube moms be going through on these YouTube streets. It's brutal. These reactors and all that. I mean, I'm not on that level, but yeah, it's brutal, you know. But some of these people be coming for me in my comment section, see, and I get it, but at a much smaller, on a much smaller scale. So but I don't know. I personally think that she should get a therapist. I think that she should get a therapist, and whatever the issues that she's dealing with, she needs to load all that on a therapist because, or a spiritual, her minister, or somebody like that. Um, Social media is just really not a place. It's a catch-22 for her because it does help her content, but at the same time, it really puts her in a position to be scrutinized and criticized, and you got two people knowing too much of your business. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know how her husband Wood feels about that. Her putting all that out like that. I don't know. But I don't know. YouTube, it can be cathartic, as they say, cathartic. YouTube can be cathartic. I like to get on here and get things off my chest and stuff like that. Vent, sometimes I vent and everything, um, but like I say, especially when you're at that level that Peach is on, it's a catch-22 because she's setting herself up for a lot of criticism and scrutiny. Maybe she doesn't care about that. I don't know, but she says she gonna keep on talking about it. She said, "I'm gonna keep on talking about it." So I don't know. Maybe that's her way of coping with the situation. I mean, maybe she don't she feels comfortable with putting too much of her business out here. And maybe that's her way of coping with the situation. I don't know. But anyway, anywho, being said she put it out there anyway, I'm gonna provide my little 2 cents in the situation. Being that she insists on putting continuing to put this out. I'm a woman up a particular age. I'll be 56 here in about a week or less than a week. So I'd like to think that, I've been around the block a couple of times. I haven't been around the block a whole lot, but I think I've been around at least a couple of times. And I'd like to think that at this stage of my life, I've acquired some knowledge and wisdom. So I don't know if I'm around her mother's age or not, but I think she's around my oldest son's age, which is early 30s. So her mother may be around my age. So I think I'm old enough to be her mama. So I could offer some older women motherly advice to her, that I would offer if I had a daughter, you know. Some of these YouTubers, like, sometimes I look at them as my YouTube daughters, like Jazzy and Chrissy. I be calling them my YouTube daughters. So, I mean, I offer some motherly advice, because I'm at the age. Anywho, this is what I told Peach in her comment section on this last video that she did about Wood was in the store buying she caught him in the store buying some stuff for himself and didn't spend any money on the children. I'm trying to sum all this up. And, he called her about some stuff about AAA or something like that. And she was telling him that he need to handle that stuff on his own and all this stuff, and going into all that unnecessary stuff that we don't really even need to know. And she was just, expressing her frustration about him not helping with the children and all this kind of stuff. I really, really, when it comes down to it, I really feel bad for Peach. I really, really feel bad for Peach. I really feel bad for her. My heart and prayers. I'm going to keep her uplifted in prayer because my heart and prayers really do go out to her. I really feel bad for her. It is really, really hard being a mother, particularly a single mother. If it seems like she's a single mother, she's married, but she's, they call them married single moms. She's married, but she's moving like a single mother. The way she's moving like a single mom. And it's really difficult, even when you marry, particularly if you don't have that support from your husband and y'all having marital problems. I've never been married before, but I can imagine, I've heard from other people that it's hard. And being a mother, whether you married or single, is very difficult. It's even harder when you're single. And she moving like a single mom, and she got 7 kids. First of all, I want to say, and this video is going to be a little long, but first of all, I want to say, Peach, stop having children by this man. You've been complaining about this man for the last 2 or 3 years. I don't watch Peach a whole lot, but if my memory serves me correctly, I think that she's been complaining about him for the last 2 or 3 years. Peach, you've been complaining about this man for the last 2 or 3 years. You had 2 kids in within a 2-year time span. Okay, I would strongly advise you to not have any more children. I would strongly advise you. I'm not an advocate of telling people what to do, but I highly recommend that you stop having kids by this man. You know what I mean? Children do not make a marriage stronger. They don't make a marriage stronger or a relationship stronger. That's the huge misconception that women think. It's a fantasy. That's what it is. Oh, if I have a baby, that's going to bring us close together. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. It's a fairy tale. It's a fantasy. Nothing is true about it. sometimes it brings you it makes the situation worse. If you build a house on a rocky foundation, what you think gonna happen to the house after a while? If you build a house on a you can't build a house on a bad foundation. If the foundation is not stable, that house is not gonna stand. So you can't build off a foundation that's not stable. You know, if you're having marital problems, if you've been having marital problems for the last 5 years, what's bringing more kids into the marriage gonna do? That's gonna make it worse. And one thing I know about men is that when they get overwhelmed, they bounce. They either bounce mentally, physically, or both. When they get overwhelmed, they bounce. Particularly black men. I don't mean to single them out, but when they get overwhelmed and stuff like that, they bounce. It either bounce mentally, physically, or both. And they get to the point to where they're not available to you. So bringing more children into the situation is not helping, and it's causing more problems because you're putting more added stress to yourself. Because here's another child that you have to take care of without his support. Because according to her, she's not getting the support from him that she needs with 7 kids. If you already wasn't getting enough support 2 or 3 kids ago, what makes you think it's going to change when you keep bringing children into this situation? I would highly recommend that you don't bring any more children into this situation. And I told her the children do not need to be. That I told her in her comment section that she needs to pray about it. Take it to God. Pray about it. Pray about it. Let the Holy Spirit talk to you, and let God advise you and tell you what to do. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Let the Holy Spirit talk to you. I don't care what that pertains to me and everybody else. Let God, direct you to what to do in that situation. And she's talking about how much she loves Wood, but you got to love yourself, Peach. You got to love yourself. And that's a lesson that I had to learn, and every woman on the planet. You got to love yourself first. You got to love yourself more than you love that man. You got to love yourself more than you love that man. I don't care who it is. I don't care how much you love him. You got to love yourself first. You got to love him more than or you got to love yourself more than you love him. Because if you don't love yourself, you're going to keep, in not knowing your worth, you're going to keep subjecting yourself to this. You're going to keep putting yourself to this. And I told her the children do not deserve to grow up in constant chaos. It's going to change who they are. I hear stories from adults that grew up in constant chaos, or toxic parents, a dysfunctional household. And it's a lot of traumatized adults walking around out here because they grew up in toxic environments, in a chaotic environment. Parents were always arguing and everything. The husband might have been violent. I'm not saying he's violent, and you hear from these adults, and it's heartbreaking, some of the stories. There's a lot of traumatized adults walking around out here. And a lot of them have mental health issues because of their childhood, because growing up in a chaotic environment. The children do not deserve to grow up in that environment. Children, particularly black children, because black children are already at a disadvantage. And when they have to grow up in an environment like that, it's going to make it even harder on them. So you have to think about your children, Peach. You have to think about them, and think about what you're subjecting them to. It might be better for you and Wood to not be together and learn to co-parent, and provide it is your responsibility as a mother to provide as much stability for them as you possibly can. And I know it's his responsibility too. It's both on both you and Wood's responsibility. But you, being the what they call it, the court term, you being the custodial parent, I'm going to assume that you are the custodial parent, Peach. By you being the custodial parent of the children, it is your responsibility to provide stability for those children, physical, emotional, and everything. Yes, it's a huge responsibility, but okay, these children didn't ask to come here. They're here now. It's both of y'all's responsibility, but you being the custodial parent, it's really your responsibility to provide that stability for your children. And they deserve to grow up in a stable environment, not living in constant chaos, because it will change who they are. It will change who they are, and it will affect them when they get older. They will be affected by it. You know what I mean? So that's something to think about. I put that in her comment section. It's something for her to think about, um, and everything. And that's the only advice I can give her. That's the only advice I can give you. Pray about it. Take it to the throne. Listen to the Holy Spirit. Um, one thing I know for sure is when you really, really, when a woman dealing with a man in a bad relationship, a stressful relationship, abusive relationship. Um, One thing I know for sure is when you really, really, really get tired, you will make a decision. When you really get tired, you will make a decision. Okay? And that's how I told her that as well. When you get tired, you will make a decision. Okay? When it comes down to it, and that's another thing I want to talk about, when it comes down to it, we have to protect our peace. We have to protect our peace. Um, we have to do whatever we can do to protect our peace. And I've been meditating on that here lately a lot. Is that we have to do whatever we can to protect our peace. Because living in constant stress and chaos and dysfunction ain't gonna do nothing but break your health down. It's gonna break your spirit. It's gonna break you down mentally. It's gonna break you down spiritually. It's gonna break you down physically. Living in constant stress and chaos. And it's important for us to do whatever we can. And we living in perilous times. We living in perilous times where the economy is bad. People stressed out. I'm looking at TikToks of people talking about how stressed out they are because the food prices, the gas prices, folks is having a hard time living, folks are struggling, and I mean people of all races, is struggling because of this economy. We're in a recession. We're in a recession. We got this man trying to, not to talk about politics, but we got this man that's trying to run for president, but he got all kind of felonies on him and stuff, and indictments and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I've never seen this in my life. My entire life that I've been on this planet, years that I've been on this planet, I've never seen nothing like this in my whole entire life. I didn't even know that you can even have a record and run for president. I thought that you had to be, I don't know, explain it to me because it don't make no sense to me. I thought that you had to have a really, really good clean record and a good clean background to even run for president. I mean, but this man Donald Trump. This man has got all kind of felonies and indictments and all this kind of stuff. But then this fool's still trying to run for president. And then folks are still steady talking about they gonna vote for him. I heard this one man on the news. I kid you not. He said that he can run the country from jail. That's what the man said. He said we can run the country from jail, or he can run the country from jail. That's what he said. I said, no, he cannot run the country from jail. It was early in the morning. My son was trying to sleep. I said it real loud. I said, no, he cannot run the country from jail. He cannot. He cannot be the president of the United States if he got felonies. I'm sorry. That's just not going to work. It's crazy. But we in our last days. We probably ain't seen nothing yet. We in our last days. And it's getting down to the wire, people. It's getting down to the wire, fam. Stuff is crazy out here. I've never seen nothing. And let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think about that situation with Donald Trump. It's a mess. And this man they still letting this man for running for president. He had to report down in Atlanta to get booked and everything down there. And he took this mug shot that's going viral. He looking all mean and everything on the mug shot. His supporters is copying his look. It's a mess. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess out here. Never seen nothing like it in my life. And folks still want to vote. That's crazy. It don't make sense to me. But that's folks, we living in a very I know I'm getting way off topic, but we living in a very stressful time where folks are stressed out and everything. Now, do you really need to add to it by living in constant chaos? It's a lot of things that are happening that's not in our control. But the things that are in your control, you need to fix it. Whatever's in your control, you can fix it to protect your peace. It's very important that we protect our peace. That we can't control, we got to pray about it and everything. And the things that we can control, take the necessary, pray about it and take the necessary steps that we need to take to change it. Because protecting your peace is very, very important. Because, and that goes for Peach, and that goes for me, and that goes for everybody else. You gotta, because you're gonna break yourself down mentally, spiritually, physically, on all levels. At the end of the day, you can't live like that. Who can live in constant chaos? So, Peach, you gotta do whatever you gotta do to protect your peace, babe. Protect your children's peace. It is your responsibility as their custodial parent to bring them up in a non-toxic environment. So if you don't think about yourself, you gotta at least think about your kids. You know what I mean? If you don't think about yourself, you gotta think about your children and in what environment that they're in. You know, and that's the only thing I can tell her. It's the only thing I can tell you. You know. She insists on bringing this on social media. And maybe that's her way of, I don't know, maybe that's her way of venting and getting it off her chest. And maybe she doesn't care about the scrutiny or the criticism. You know, that might be her way of venting and getting things off her chest. And we do need an outlet to do that. I think the best thing for her to do, her and Wood need to get into some marital counseling, you know, and unload a lot of that stuff on the therapist. You know, bringing this to social media is not going to be effective. Except, yeah, she'll make money because it'll be a source of content. But she'll be set, like I said, she'll be setting herself up for a lot of scrutiny. So let me go, guys know, you know, like I said, this is rat slash. Let me go in the comment section what you guys think about Peach's situation or anybody that's in that situation. Or how you feel about people coming on social media, giving too much information, talking about personal issues, relationship issues. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you're a content creator yourself, do you draw the line on that? You know I do. And let me know what you think about this Donald Trump situation. And what do you do to protect your peace? What are some of the things that you do to protect your peace? You know, that's important, people. That's important. So, any comment on any one of those things or all of them? Um, Let me know what you think. Until the next video, I got a new computer. I'm gonna be making some changes on my channel. Heads up, I got a new computer. It's got some cool features on it, and so you guys will see it when I do it. But yeah, I'm gonna be making a little bit of change. It's some little editing things I can do on cool editing things I can do on this computer. So um, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a new change, and I'm gonna be doing something different. Got to evolve, and got to make changes, and got to keep growing. I'm still here. I'm still here. I just basically took a little bit of pressure off myself to not put too much pressure. That's basically what I did. When I said I was gonna pull back, just basically taking pressure off myself of not feeling like I have to come on here every day and put content on here. You know what I'm saying? To keep the channel going. Just basically taking that pressure off myself and just kind of just going with the flow and just kind of doing content when I'm mentally able and physically able to do it, and just kind of taking that pressure off myself and taking the load off myself and not putting that pressure on myself, because after all, I ain't making no money on here no way. I mean, I'd like to at some point, but um, yeah. So yeah, works for me. I feel better. I feel better about that. I feel better that I'm doing it that way, and then that way that takes the pressure off me. I don't feel that pressure on me to constantly, because then I'm just going through the motions, and I don't like when it comes to this YouTube thing. I don't like to just go through the motions. That's not good. Just doing it just to be doing it and just going through the motions. But anyway, anywho, let me know what you think about any of those things, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow me on TikTok. I got some cool things going on. I'm coming into my niche on TikTok. They haven't banned it yet, thank God. Coming into my niche on TikTok. I really need to really grow. I can't seem to get up to 300 followers. I'm teetering. So hit me up on TikTok. I'm under Sweet June 54 on TikTok. Sweet June 54. Hit me up on TikTok. I got some cool things going on over there. Some great. I'm kind of doing some Black Pride type stuff, and I'm doing some funny. I do some funny stuff. Um, I'm doing some Black Pride type stuff over there. So, providing some knowledge. Trying to educate a little bit. So get over there. I got some cool stuff going on over there. Sweet June 54. So hit me up over there. Hit me up on Facebook. I'm on the Sweet June on Facebook. Um, I am gonna try to grow my Facebook platform. Because they say you can make good money on Facebook. I think I might start doing commentary over there. I don't know. I've been trying to brainstorm and figure out what to do on Facebook. I can't run too many social media platforms at the same time. My primary is YouTube, of course. But I am going to try to do something on Facebook. I may start doing commentary over there as well. But I don't know. I don't know. But go ahead and hit me up over there. Follow me over there anyway. But anywho, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, so every time I do a video, you will be notified. And share my videos. Share my videos. Okay, until the next video, you guys be blessed.